So, hello everybody, here I'm back. I've played the first turn. And what I said in my last video is that I cannot really understand or imagine how the Vietnamese can win any objectives in this game. Well, I've played my first turn and I have to say I was wrong. The turns always start with a communist player going first. They do their refitting, they get their reinforcements, and then they move. And once they have moved, the allies get their first bombarding phase. And during that phase, actually, I got quite a lot of suppressed results. Now, suppressed result means that you know, the movement and the combat stats are halved. So basically, this unit then, I'm just picking up this one. This communist unit, it's Viet Cong, would be attacking at 1. The green figure is the attack factor. So I got quite a lot of suppressed results. However, what also happened was that the Allies lost 3 of these green chits, which are basically 2 choppers and 1 tactical bomber. Now, for all of these, obviously, the Vietnamese communist factions got victory points. And they did still decide to attack. They attacked up here in the delta. So the Viet Cong, because that was quite a strong group, it was 2 stacks of 3 each. And the Viet Cong have a command level of 6, which means that 6 units at most can attack. And they managed to eliminate the garrison over here, and they took Tan, which at least gave them one victory point. So actually taking out garrisons isn't really too difficult because they only have a combat level of 1, a combat factor of 1. So I think that this is probably the secret to this, trying to get as many of these out of the way and occupying those hexes. Because unlike, for example, Citadel or also Lock and Load, in order for you to get victory points and to occupy an area, you have to have combat units in it, okay? It's not enough to just move into it, you have to have a combat unit in there. So, and then you flip the counter from its yellow side to its black side, which is then the Viet Cong equivalent. But you have to have actual troops in there. So another thing is that up here, for example, I had Viet Cong attacking, well, I was going to use these Viet Cong to attack this stack. Well, I decided then not to, because they were halved during the suppression phase, and then later on when the Allies, because I had actually spent all of my bombardment in the communist phase, so in the Allied phase I didn't have any bombardment, and after the communist phase the communists get to remove their suppressed markers. So then there was a lot of fighting going on, and I had all kinds of really interesting results. One of them, for example, was attacker shattered. So I rolled so badly that actually the attackers lost units. Even then, in the Allied attack phase, the communists were making points, were getting points awarded for the so-called body count. A couple of words around how it plays. I'm amazed it plays really quickly. especially when you think of if you attack a stack of, let's say, these 3 Viet Cong units with bombardment, you would have to roll 3 dice, 1 for each of the units, to see what the result is. Worst case scenario, you have a stack of 6 and you would have to roll 6 dice. You might say, oh my god, this is going to take ages, but interestingly enough, it doesn't. It's much less, it feels much less tedious and much less problematic and tiresome than the constant rolling in Citadel, which I considered constant, but when I look at it now, I think you probably roll more dice in this game per even hex that you're operating on than you might have in Citadel. But in Citadel it just felt really tedious. I don't know why, I'll have to analyze this some more, but this game plays really quickly. And I'm not saying that I have understood the ins and outs of its strategies and that I'm really playing a very strategic game. Like I said, I just completed the first turn, but even the first turn I have a feeling that I didn't make any mistakes, which is also quite interesting because usually you do make loads of mistakes, or I make loads of mistakes when you're new to a game. But at the moment I really feel I'm in control of the game. And I'm actually getting quite a lot of fun out of this, unlike Citadel. And so yeah, this looks really good. So basically, in the next turn, we will see if anybody gets reinforcements. I think that the allies may get reinforcements, and I will also get to make decisions on getting refitting allied resources and refitting Viet Cong resources, because I've got them here and I can start spending victory points on them. One thing that is important, movement is restricted, not only through the amount of movement points you have, but also due to the fact that only the US and only the North Vietnamese army can actually move out of the zones that they have been assigned to. So these Viet Cong that I was telling you about earlier, that took this garrison up here, cannot move away out of the Delta front. They are assigned to this. They cannot move anywhere else. So for example, even if I wanted to, I mean, they have a movement of 6. I could never put them, let's say, into this area, which is the Saigon front. They are assigned to the, so basically this is the, I mean, I have to say that the demarcation lines of the different areas are somewhat a little bit annoying because they're really hard to read. But here you have the front line, this is the Delta, here we have already Cambodia. So this is the Delta front. Here you have the Saigon front. So these Viet Cong could not move here. The US can move freely, and the North Vietnamese army can also move freely. The Anzac, so these guys down here, that's an Anzac stack, cannot move freely. They have to stay put. They can move within the Saigon front, but that's as far as they can get. However, when I refit them, so if I bring these yokes back in, I can place them wherever I want. But then again, if I say I'm going to place these Viet Cong up here in the B1 front, or in the Saigon front, or B2 front, or wherever, then they have to stay there until they get eliminated again, and then I refit them again if I have the money, and the currency in this case is victory points that I have to trade in. So that's all for now. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this game, and yeah, and there might be another video or so in this, but there'll definitely also be a write-up on Big Board Gaming. So talk to you soon. Bye.